Welcome to the 2020 Fall West Hall Football Spartans Banquet. Obviously, we're doing this in a different format this year due to different concerns, but we want to make sure that we honor all of our players appropriately and all the things that make up our program. And, we know that we'd like to be in person, but that's not going to be the case. And if we were in person, it would not be to the level that we would like to celebrate these types of players. First and foremost, I'd like to say thank you to Dr. Hathcock, Coach Wagner, for having the faith in me to lead this group of young men. Appreciate the Booster Club, Brooke Davidson, my president, Laura Holcomb, my treasurer, up here all the time doing work, putting in lots of time to make this program work. April Jenkins and Cassie Sturgill making pregame meals and helping out. Megan Thorne doing a lot of the social media and background stuff. Christy Sturm. Brian Legault for painting the field, Christy Legault for helping out in all kinds of different ways, Alicia Babatunde and Rosanna Smith, one of my coaches, also helps put together the golf tournament. Couldn't do things without them. My staff, appreciate my staff and their families, especially the ones that are married, for allowing their husbands and significant others to be up here a good portion of 6 to 7 months and spending all that time, and it doesn't go without knowing that we appreciate you allowing that to take place. And we appreciate the support of the parents and the community in general. This is a special place at West Hall. This is a community that gets behind the players and faculty in the school, and it's the hidden secret of Hall County, and just pleased to be here and pleased to be able to coach these great young men and young ladies. Moving on to the next part, I want to say thank you to a lot of our main sponsors here at West Hall. ET Restorations, the last 2 years, has done a lot. They've had their logo on the field. They've done a lot financially and through cloth and things of that nature. A big thank you to ET Restorations, to our sponsor board. I would tell everybody that had something they wanted to do to look at our sponsor board out there and look at one of those businesses and patronize them. There's lots of great companies out there. Davis Outdoor Construction, Keller Williams Agents. You got lawyers with Stewart, Melvin and Frost. Just all kinds of different organizations. And I know I'm leaving one out, one way or the other, but just go out there and look at that and patronize those people, because they're people that make this community go and allow us to keep our kids in the most updated equipment and keep them moving forward. So really a large appreciation to them. But going through kind of the season this year, this was a season unlike any other. We're looking at coming off an 0-10 slate, playing 4A in the toughest region 2 years ago, and playing state champions and state runner-ups. And we knew we had a new schedule coming in this year, and we were excited. We were having great gains last spring, and then the pandemic hit, and we were out. We were out for a while. And when we were able to kind of crank things back up on June 8th, I can't say enough about our senior leadership and the players that we have and the ability they had to be able to compartmentalize and control the controllable. I always talk about CTC, controlling the controllable, and these kids did a great job of coming in every day and controlling their attitude, their effort, and basically themselves. And when you're talking about that aspect with all the things going on, these kids came in, and football was that release to come in every day, and we had to go through all these different protocols, doing it safely, wearing masks. But I just can't say enough about the group of kids that we had in the season that took place. Coming off of, like I said, one of the worst seasons that we could potentially have, it was a complete turnaround. New schedule, ended up finishing 4-6, 2 wins in the region, 2 wins preseason, basically before the region started. And one of those games that we lost was a pickup that we did the week of. Ended up 4-6. Felt like we were a couple plays away from being 6-4, which is a huge turnaround. We want to see that thing continue to go this way. We felt like, we're coming this way at the end of the year, 2 wins to finish the season. Want that thing to continue to rise. We got a great group coming back, and I feel like the seniors that we had this year did a great job of laying a foundation of something they can be proud of and something that we can look forward to in the seasons to come. Looking at the games, Jackson County is the team that we started the season with and played, and that was one of those games where we didn't have a lot of time to prepare, and it came down to the last drive. Felt like we had a lead at one point, felt like we had a chance to win at home. Didn't happen, but still proud of the team's effort, going against a 5A playoff team and doing as well as they did. In week 2, we played East Hall. Once again, had a lead. Felt like that was a game that we could have won. Had some things not go our way, and started the season 0-2, coming off an 0-10 season. Now you're 0-2, 2 tight games. We know we've had vast improvement. Coaches have worked their tails off. The players have worked their tails off. A lesser team, a lesser character team, a lesser leadership. Hard to say what would happen. Well, this group didn't. This group regrouped, came out, took care of business against Johnson in a big win, then beat Chestatee, and then we started the region. A couple tough losses in the region, had some success at times, but had some adversity, some things go against us, and then to finish the season with those 2 wins against Gilmer and Lumpkin County with a huge win against both of them, one at home, one on the road, really gives us that momentum going to the offseason. A lot of starters returning, but very proud of those seniors moving into the next phase. The ones that go on to play college football, proud of them. Very proud of the ones that are not as well, but just staying the course and putting West Hall in a better position than it was 2 years ago. Special mentions of things when we go to awards kind of later, but special mentions of a couple things this season is our points per game defensively and offensively have completely flipped. I think we averaged over 23 points a game this year, where last year we were below 10. Points per game gave up, we were 20 less. You see the tangible improvement when you look at numbers and statistics. We had the Class 3A receiving leader in Rodrigo Lopez with over 1,000 receiving yards, and that's a West Hall single season record, and was the state leader in 10 games, which is a great thing. I can't say enough about that. I mean, that is a huge accomplishment. Hasn't been done here at West Hall. We have not had a state leader in receiving yards, and from what I looked at, I don't think we had a state leader in rushing nor receiving in the history of the school. So it's a big offensive award. Clayton Jenkins graduates this year with the most passing yards in school history. Had over 2,000 yards passing this year. Had over 1,000 as a sophomore, around 900 as a junior, and total career yardage, I believe, is the total career yardage leader in West Hall history. So there's a couple players that are moving on that have a legacy and something that they definitely left behind, and for people to achieve and try to go break. Records are put there to be broke, but good job, guys, and really proud of you. So I want to say a special shout out also to our managers, Emma Yancey, Casey Smith, and Keeley Smith, doing a great job this year with the water constraints of helping out, being at practice, helping out our lead trainer, Renee Razzo, and just being able to make the kids' experience a little bit easier on the coaches, and helping out with the water and things of that nature. It's been a big plus.
Hey, I just want to welcome everybody to our first ever virtual banquet. I know this is not ideal, and thank you for bearing with us with everything that's going on in the world right now. But first of all, just wanted to thank everyone, the players, the parents, the coaches, the community, everybody that's had a hand in this this past season, I should say. I'm not going to talk real long at all. Just really want to say thank you. We appreciate everything that everyone does, not only for our school and our community, but for these young people. Seniors, want to wish you the absolute best of luck in all the endeavors you have. Later in life, be it college, be it technical school, workforce, whatever you choose to do, you're always one of us. Once a Spartan, always a Spartan. We hope you have a great rest of the banquet and you enjoy everything that the coaches have prepared for you.
Hey everybody, this is Coach Ryden, the 2020 JV West Hall Spartans head football coach. I'd like to start out by thanking the parents for allowing your kid to come out there and practice, especially during this uncertain time, with everything going on. I'd also like to thank Coach Montgomery for giving me the opportunity to do this, and the administration as well for helping us with everything we needed. I'd also like to thank the cafeteria for providing snacks for us pregame for every game that we had on JV. And finally, I'd like to thank the coaching staff, Coach Parnell, who did the offense, Coach English, who ran the defense, Coach Taylor, who did the O-line, Coach Doster, who worked with the linebackers, and Coach Smith as well, who helped out with the offensive line. The 2020 season, players had to deal with a bunch of different things. They persevered through the COVID pandemic, new stuff at school, and new practice procedures that we had. The season started out with a tough loss against North Hall. Those guys always seem to get us. Then we beat Johnson again. There you go, Johnson again. And then we competed against every single team that we did play, whether it be Jackson County, Winder, Appalachia, or Cherokee Bluff. As the season went on, we competed against every single one of these teams. We came back in certain times. We didn't quit. We played all the way to the last buzzer. We scored on offense and on defense and on special teams on JV this year, which is something I don't think I've seen in any JV season. We had some very explosive plays, which is always exciting to see, and we had some really crucial fourth down stops. So that's always promising to see things like that happen. JV sports are all about development, and our players continue to develop throughout the JV season. They progress mentally and physically through the game of football. And this experience, this JV experience is very key for any athlete in any sport. Getting experience, sub-varsity, was only just going to prepare you for the varsity game, which are much more difficult. Saying that, we can't wait to see what these gentlemen have in store for us next year. 2020 JV West Hall football team. It's Nick Davidson, Jermaine Vincent, Byron Breville, Lucas Fernandez, Jonathan Mast, Michael Acevedo, Brady Clark, Calvin Norman, Jaden Presley, Gerardo Paez, Cato Martinez, Matthew Harkins, Adrian Gonzalez, Brandon Ramos, Connor Bailey, Ryan McMillan, Bryce Reed, Dan Diazia, Sam Pettit, and Tucker Williams. Like I said, we can't wait to see what's in store for these young men next year and in the years to come on the football field, and more importantly in the classroom.
Talking about some of the things community-wise, we weren't able to do bus riders this year, but community outreach things that we do as a program, from service hours of working junior Spartan games to this year we were able to award Kelly McKinney, who's a math teacher here, with a CFP award that came from the AFCA, the American Federation of Coaches Association. It was a big award that put her into a national poll of a player, basically a teacher that goes something called the hashtag the extra yard, that goes the extra yard. And it was great for our class to be able to go and surprise her with that award, where she got a football, t-shirt, gift cards, and was put into a national poll of recognition for her basically service to our school as a teacher. Something else we do is the Community Impact or the Teacher Impact Award, where they wear our jerseys on Fridays. And that was something we were able to do again this year that was successful. And I love seeing the kids write letters to the teachers and someone that makes that impact on them outside of the athletic realm, because at the end of the day, we are just all student athletes. Guys, at West Hall, we always talk about family, and that's one of those things that before I start talking about the seniors, West Hall's got that community feel and that family feel, and it's one of those things that makes it a special place. And talk about the families that make up all of our players and getting them here on time and doing the fundraisers and all the donations from the sponsors to the people in the community. And it just makes it a special place, and it's kind of a hidden secret in Hall County, and it just makes it a great place to be. And I want to give special thanks to my own family. My wife, Blair, just very supportive, came to every game, was there all the time. My mother-in-law, Allison Sommerauer, who comes to almost every game with her, always there to support, means a lot. And the games my daughter is able to make as well, and my stepchildren, Max and Will, just means a lot, their support for me. And I know my coaches feel the same way with their families as well. And just want to say and give a shout out, make sure that that's something that's covered. And I know that our players and their families feel the same way when they're in the stands, and we're looking forward to 2021 when people can actually get out there and be there to support them. The next award that I'm going to do is our senior awards. Now, usually we call up the seniors and have individual things that we say about them. I'm doing this on video. I'm going to try to keep it as brief as possible. And I know that these seniors mean a lot to me. I've been their head coach for 3 years. there's been a lot of great things that they've done, and a lot of other things that you can just ask yourself about. But love these guys, and I just want to can't say enough about them. The first one I'm going to say is Darius Smith. Darius Smith was one that came to us a little bit late. Really long kid, played linebacker. Love him. Wish we had him another year. And just a kid that is infectious smile, great attitude. Always ready to play through injuries, and just a kid that very, very extremely proud of. Next one is Tyler Maynard. Tyler Maynard, someone that had played for us as a freshman and a sophomore, didn't play as a junior, came back out in week 2 as a senior. Someone that's a good athlete, baseball player, used to wrestle, good kid, great attitude, hard worker. Someone that I wish would have never taken his junior year off, and he would probably say the same, because he knows that he's an extremely talented kid and helps us in a lot of ways, from running back to linebacker to special teams. Next one is Anthony Garcia. Anthony Garcia is a guard. He ended up playing guard for us, and man, I'm proud of this kid. He came from playing linebacker to the other positions to embracing the offensive line position and playing guard and being a 10-game starter for us, and one of our most consistent performers. And I know Coach Ryden and the coaching staff, we can't say enough good things about Anthony. Just a hard worker, here every day, let you know what's going on, and just, man, very, very, very proud of him. And, he kind of is the essence of what high school football is about. In terms of just staying the course, playing hard, not necessarily having a starting spot until his senior year, but then being a huge contributor as a senior, and a really hard worker, and just someone that makes me really proud. The next one is John Jones. John Jones was an offensive lineman for us, played for 4 years, and John was one of those that if we could have kept him healthy, it would have been great. Started multiple games, but would have been probably one of our strongest, best offensive linemen, but had multiple injuries from different spots that really hindered him. But his family, great family, great people in Oakwood and Office Pros, and just what they do, and just extremely blessed to have the chance to coach them, and best of luck to him in the future. Next one is Garrett Rae, another kid I wish I had another year. Garrett, big kid, strong, long hair, great motor, type of kid that you just love to coach. He gets after it in the weight room, works hard, and just wish I had another year for him, because he had some injuries. His foot was pretty, we got stepped on during the season, and some different things kind of held him back. But man, great kid. Started on the offensive line, played some defense as well. Great motor. Just kind of kid that you want to have on your team. Just gets after it. And I know his younger brother's going to be back for us next year, but going to miss Garrett, and just kind of what he brings to the table, and kind of his intensity without actually talking. He's one of those that doesn't have to talk. He just brings the intensity. Next senior is Ben Hong, number 63. Ben's a 3-year starter, defensive lineman. He's one of those that's done a lot for our program, and very technical, very good hips and hands and feet, and just played offensive line as well. Probably one of our most versatile linemen. He's been through some adversity himself, was able to come back and put together a pretty good senior year, and is looking to play at the next level. So proud of Ben, and looking forward to his future endeavors. Next senior award is Victor Rodriguez. Victor is a 6'5", big kid who decided to play football as a junior, and he's another one I wish we had another year, or I wish he would have came out a year earlier. And that's why I tell people all the time, man, do not wait, come out, stay the course. The things that we preach: perseverance, hard work, controlling the controllable, controlling what you can control, which is your effort, your attitude, being on time, all those things. Why is it so important? Well, I wish I would have known him and got him out as a sophomore, because as he progressed with his technicalities of learning the position with the feet, the hands, the hips, and all the things that go into playing the line position, the kid has the size. And by the end of his senior year, started a couple games and had a couple really, really good games for us, really long. And man, just signifies great attitude, here every day, let you know exactly what's going on, and you could count on him. It's the kind of kid that, it's going to be just a successful kid in the future, because you can tell has the drive and the intrinsic motivation to make something out of what his situation may be. And I'm just really, really proud of him. Really proud of him. Next up is Jonathan Hall. Jonathan Hall was starting corner for us the last 2 years. Jonathan had a great season. Was, I think, third on the team in tackles, part of the DB unit, on the field every play, battled injuries as well, but was on the field, competing, a lot of times taking some of the best receivers that we go against, and doing a great job against them. Had a great year, really good in run support. Very, very talented kind of kid. He's grown a ton in the last 2 years. Speed, feet, physicality and strength just came a long way, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he does at the next level. I know he's going to play college football, and I think his best football is still in front of him. It's going to be weird not seeing people like Jonathan and some of these others when I come in next year, but looking forward to seeing his future. Next senior I have here is Clayton Jenkins. Clayton Jenkins was our quarterback, and Clayton, man, I'm really, really proud of him in a lot of different ways, but Clayton was the type of kid who he's more of a leader by example. He's not a huge talker, but he's got a little bit here and there that, he'll say things, but he's not the biggest talker in the world. But kid's just got a quick release, coach's son, very smart, understands the game, great feet. As I said earlier, threw for over 2,000 yards, at times looked like one of the best quarterbacks around. If he wanted to, could play college football. Don't think it's something that he wants to do. Has that type of athletic ability. Really kind of sets the course for the team. I mean, playing that position, you get a lot of ridicule. You get all the fame and you get all the flack. And I know how it is. I have to hear it, and I know how things he went through in that adversity. And, man, he's stronger from it. And just had a really good ending to his season. Was an FCA All-Star. Won the Falcons Award for a nominee for the Falcons for Man of the Year. For his character and just his desire and the way that he plays the game, not being just playing it a certain way. And just, man, I'm going to miss him a lot. And just looking forward to seeing what he does with his future, and we'll miss him a lot. Next is Diego Lorenzo. Diego was a place kicker for us, a left-footed place kicker. Another kid, man, always here when he's here. Usually kicking, quiet, but, man, just love him. Love the kid. He just focuses on what his job was, and that's to kick extra points. And a lot of times he's out there hour and a half, 2 hours working on his craft, working on, leg swing, planting his foot, all the things that go with his position, and just very, very proud of Diego. Next up is Elijah Porsha. Elijah is another one of those, him, Jonathan Hall, and Josiah, the three amigos, the guys that all stick together and always together. But Elijah Porsha, he is a kid that big, strong, fast, looks great when you look at him. Had some injuries in preseason, kind of put him in some different spots, but kind of a very versatile player. Could run the ball, play special teams, play outside linebacker, a little bit of defensive end. Sometimes looking at him as safety. Very versatile, and wish had another year with him as well. Elijah's the kind of kid that just, he's got the speed and the frame and the mindset, and always positive. Kind of one of those guys that kind of tries to get people fired up and going. And going to miss Elijah and just what he brings to the program. Another kid just works so hard hard in the weight room, and just going to really miss him. And next is his other buddy, Josiah Hernandez, running back. Josiah was our fastest kid on the team. I'll say that, and I know the kids can say whatever. But Josiah is the type of kid that can just flat out fly. And, had a lot of big runs for us. He's got a chance to play college football at different levels. This guy has that natural running gait. You don't even know he's in full speed until he's running past everybody. And had some huge catches and runs, big runs for us. Josiah's another one of those. Wish I had him another year. His weight room numbers went crazy high, good speed numbers. Just really works hard and is really kind of humble and just kind of does his thing and doesn't talk a whole lot about what he's doing, just does it, and has just a lot of ability. I know a lot of coaches would talk about, man, when 28 gets the ball, it kind of scares us a little bit because he's got that home run ability, and man, you don't get those every year, and we're going to miss Josiah and wish him the best in his future endeavors. Next is Shakai Shaw, which I've already had the signing with Shakai. He's going to Edward Waters, an HBCU Division II school in Jacksonville, Florida. Shakai came to us as a senior, worked extremely hard to get his grades to where they needed to be and get eligible to play. And Shakai had a great year. He was a first-team All-Region player for us, linebacker. He has that natural hips, natural striking ability. He hits you right where you form tackling. If you're to watch a video, he does it exactly like a video shows you how to do it. The kid just, he knows how to play. He brings that chip on his shoulder. He plays hard. He plays fast. He plays physical. And, he's a tough one to replace. He's a tough one to to mimic because you don't see those every year. And you can tell that, Shakai is he's a football player. He's a physical specimen, and he's going to have a good career moving forward, and just hoping he continues to work and does the things that he needs to do to be successful. Next is Milken Melkin. Milken was our slot receiver. Kid that has really good feet, short bursts when you're looking at 10 yards, like cone to cone, point A to point B, can really burn people in very small little windows. Great feet, great body control. Had some really big games this year for us, and some put up some yardage and some touchdowns, and was able to play slot receiver and some wing for us and run the ball a little bit. Returned kickoffs 2 years ago. Melkin's kind of kid that just works hard, likes to play, likes to be out here and likes to be with the guys and likes to show what he's got. And athletically, good kid, smart, great grades, does everything you ask, and just really proud of Melkin and looking forward to seeing what he can do with his future. Then I got Tad Davidson. Tad's a story that just it's one of those a little tragic. Tore his ACL before his junior year, and then tore his ACL in our preseason scrimmage on the other knee. Tad was our top slot receiver as a junior, was competing for quarterback reps and slot as a senior, was going to be on the field and weighed very heavily on our offensive game plan for the last 2 years. And it hurt us a lot 2 years ago, and it hurt us again this year. It's a kid that just not afraid to go across the middle and catch the balls, the 7 to 8 yard mesh routes and crossing routes and all those things, and gives us a mix up at quarterback and some different depth there, some things we wanted to do, and leadership, and just kind of a whole lot of. Tad's is not afraid, and just he has a different kind of mindset and tenacity he brings to a game, and for him not to be able to play the last 2 years, heartbreaking personally and professionally. Hurts the team, hurts me personally because I just know how hard he worked. I saw him come back from his junior to senior year and put the time in the weight room and the different exercises, and he was just completely bought in and just worked his tail off. And to not get to see him play, it hurts. It hurts. I guess the best thing I could say was Tad was able to take that last snap at our last home game against Gilmer, get carried off the field, and I hope that made him feel good. Just to knee it down. I know that it definitely didn't go the way he wanted it to, but sometimes in life that's how things work. The good thing is Tad has a chance to go on. He's playing college football. I think he's going to Greenville in Illinois, and success is, hopefully in front of him, and stays healthy and see what he can do. So I'll be interested to see what he does. Getting close to the end here. Next senior I have is Rodrigo Lopez. Rodrigo was our, as I said in the intro, was our state leader in receiving yards, and Rodrigo is a huge offensive weapon. We've known it since he was a freshman. The kid is extremely strong, fast, tall, big hands, high points balls. Just can really play the receiver position, and it has Division I type ability. And is going to have a chance to play at the next level in multiple spots, and we're looking forward to see where that happens. But Rodrigo did our kickoffs. Just very, very multi-talented kid who just, the sky's the limit for him. The sky's the limit, and I mean, just would love to see him, be able to focus completely on one sport and really get after it. And I'm hoping that he can do that at the next level. But you don't get Rodrigos all the time. He was a first-team All-Region player, an honorable mention All-State player. Big-time awards, huge impact on our offense. A big part of what we wanted to do, and just had a great season. And something that we hard to replace, and going to miss him. And my last senior for this part of the program is Sam Holcomb. And Sam was a 3-year starter for us in the secondary. First team All-Region 2019, first team All-Region 2020. Missed a few games this year with a broken hand in a weird spot. I know he didn't want to sit out for those, but Sam is probably our best natural athlete all around when it comes to speed and space, awareness, body control. When you put all those things together, he returned our punts. He's a great special teams player. Defensively, just makes all kinds of plays all over the field. He does not have any fear when it comes to tackling. takes you right through the waist like you're supposed to. Guy won our Hammer Award in 2019. Just not afraid to hit, make plays, and when he's on the field, man, you just know that he's going to be involved all over the place. He has a nose for the ball, not a kid that talks a whole lot, just freaky athletic, can control his body in ways that, God's blessed him with. And it's not every day you get to see that, and just super proud of him. And, has a chance to play college football he wants. I think he's going to go a different route, but he's going to be successful in whatever he does. But just, man, going to miss Sam and what he brings to the table. Just a heck of an athlete.
Hey, this is Coach Gross, and I'm here to give a brief overview of our offensive production this year. This is my third year as the offensive coordinator, and we had a very solid year on the offensive side of football this year. Definitely showed a lot of improvement from the previous year. Had some guys step up in some key roles and help us kind of be able to have a lot more success moving the football and scoring points. This year we averaged 23.6 points per game, which is the 8th highest points per game average in school history. There was 2 games in which we scored 50 or more points, the Johnson game and the Lumpkin game. And we averaged just under 300 yards a game. It was 299.7 to be exact, with our highest output being 495 yards at Lumpkin County. This year we had a school record broken by our receiver Rodrigo Lopez with 1,021 receiving yards. He got some all-state recognition as well. And we just had a lot of different guys step up in some key roles. We had some people, like our quarterback Clayton Jenkins come back for the 3rd year. Having some of those guys that had experience along with some younger guys, up front and some skill spots, I think we really meshed well, and we're able to be very productive and explosive at times throughout the year. All of our offensive position coaches will kind of get more into their groups and be able to kind of dive into their guys and some of the specific things they did. But overall, on the offensive side of football, definitely was a step forward for us this year, and hope that next year we can continue to build off of what we were able to do this year. Hey, this is Coach Gross again. I'm here to recognize our running back group for the 2020 season. This is a group, a lot of these guys got a lot more playing time on the varsity level than they've seen previously, but they were key contributors, running the football, obviously, but then, in being involved in the passing game, running routes, and one of the most important jobs is being involved in the blocking game as well. So first off, our juniors at running back that we're going to kind of recognize. First one's Jaden Badger. He did a great job for us running the ball in the JV, translated into getting some varsity action. Looking forward to having him back another year under his belt. Next one's Mikhail Hemphill. Mikhail did a great job for us, kind of played a little bit of some wing slot as well, making some plays out there for us. And then the last junior is Talil Blackwell. Talil was our short yardage guy, and he was the guy if we got down the red zone. Typically he was getting the ball because Talil can snip the end zone. He's going to run behind his pads, drive his legs, and he had a very good year for us. Really looking forward to having all 3 of those guys back again next year. And then our seniors at the running back position that we had, first one's Tyler Maynard. He kind of got involved late in the year, getting some carries for us in a couple of those games. Did a great job helping us out right there depth-wise, and was productive when he was in the ball game. Next one's Elijah Porsha. Same thing, did a great job when he was in there taking care of the football, running hard. Did a good job in pass pro as well. Next one's Shakai Shaw. Glad that we got Shaky playing with us this year, and he was a good one. Again, running between the tackles, short yardage type guy. Very difficult to bring down. And then lastly is Josiah Hernandez. Josiah was our leading rusher this year. Had several explosive runs in a couple of our games. Scored several touchdowns on those, and definitely was a weapon for us out of the backfield. So these are our 2020 running backs this year.
Hi, everybody. It's Coach Ryden here again. I'm the run game coordinator and the offensive line coach here at West Hall. And I just want to take a moment to recognize our offensive linemen and just talk a little bit about the 2020 season. with the season, being 2020, of course, we had a lot of issues and situations that we had to deal with, but our players battled through that. We got to play every single game, and that's a testament to them following all the protocols they had to follow and making sure that they adhered to everything that they were supposed to stick to. With the 2020 season, we had a lot of question marks. We had one returning starter who was an all-region offensive lineman, but we did have a lot of holes to fill. So we had a lot of players playing different positions, playing positions they had just never even thought about playing before. So it was a very, 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 different transition for some of them, and some of them handled it like pros. So to start off, I'm going to, just mention each player's name and give a little bit of an explanation about how their season went. And, I'm just so proud of these guys. I want to do that. First person is Alex Doster. Now, Alex, I threw him into the Johnson game. He played really well. He played, throughout the season at times for us. But Alex is, he's a big kid, talented kid. Hopefully, he's going to play a lot more for us next year. Next is A.J. O'Brien. A.J., another young player. He played tackle for us as well. He played really early in the season, and then later on in the season, A.J. had some growing pains, but that happens to everybody. But I am really looking forward to what A.J. is going to do for us this year. He's been working really hard in the weight room. Every day, Coach Rayleigh's talking about how A.J. is just busting his tail in the weight room, getting stronger, and that is, perfect. That is exactly what you want to hear with an upcoming junior. Next is going to be Will Wagner. Now, Will, I think everybody knows about Will's story. Will played tackle for us in the East Hall game, and then, had to leave because of an injury. But Will has persevered through more than anybody that, I've ever known on a football field. He's one of those few people that, has battled through a lot of stuff. And he just kept, coming to practice every day, and working through it. And in a situation where he couldn't come back, and, we understand that. But I'm really excited to see, whatever Will does in the future, I'm just really excited to see what he does. He's a hard worker, and he's super smart. Next is going to be Ethan Couch. Now, Ethan, he started about halfway, maybe later on in the season. He really developed pretty quickly, and he was kind of late coming out there to the practice field. Once he got out there, he got acclimated. He's a big kid. He's a big bruising kid. I like that. He's got a good attitude. Just got to continue to develop. All these kids that I'm talking about around right now are really young. So he's got to continue to develop strength, in the middle part of the game, all that sort of stuff. He's going to be a great player for us. Next is going to be Tito Hernandez. Tito had the biggest job this past summer, which was learning how to play center. Tito had played guard, I believe, before, but I stuck him in there and told him from day one that he was a guy. I believed he could do it. And Tito did it. He had some struggles snapping the ball, but we fixed that. And, I don't know how many he had during the season that were bad, maybe one or two. But Tito really developed, and he did a great job for us. So we want to continue to have that linchpin right there at the center position with number 78. Next is going to be Reagan Bird. Reagan was our one returning starter. He was all-region. He made all-region this year as well. And as Reagan enters his senior season, we expect nothing less but a three-peat for the offensive line in all-region for him. All right, the rest of the players that I'm going to mention now are going to be seniors. So all these kids are going to be leaving us. They're going to be sorely missed. We wish we had these 5 gentlemen back next year. First one is going to be John Jones. John played tackle for us. Previously, in the past couple of years, he played center, but we moved him to tackle. He played early in the season, late in the season. He had some injury issues that kept him down, but he did a good job for us. The next one's going to be Ben Hong. Ben played a lot of defense, so he didn't really get to play that much offensive line, but he did a good job on defense. He really came around at the end of the year and started playing like a defensive lineman, well, like a madman. So that was really good for us. Next is going to be Garrett Rae. Garrett was a mainstay for us. He started the last game of his junior year, and then every game he was healthy for this year. Garrett was an intense individual, and I like that in an offensive lineman. Going to miss him. Next person is going to be Victor Rodriguez. Victor started the last game of the season versus Lumpkin County. Victor did everything we asked him to do. He came to practice every single day. Great kid. Big, tall kid, too. Wish I had him another year. But we can't have Victor back. But he did a good job for us. And finally, it's Anthony Garcia. Anthony played H-back last year and moved to the offensive line. And he automatically became one of the best pullers that we had. He didn't talk very much, but I always gave him a hard time about. But, he always knew what to do. He always knew where he was going. He was a little small for the offensive line, but he's a fighter. And, he tried his best to learn from game 1 all the way to game 10. He was asking me questions game 10 about what to do. So really appreciate him and the rest of our seniors and their efforts. Going to miss those guys. So that's your 2020 offensive line. And for the most part, defensive line. All these guys play both ways pretty much. But like I said, we're, looking into the future, got a bright future. And hopefully, we'll continue to improve. But there's a send-off to our seniors, Anthony, Victor, Garrett, Ben, and John. Wish the best of luck to you in the future, in your future endeavors. And as always, go Spartans.
Hi, I'm Coach Miller. I coached the quarterbacks here at West Hall this past year. The first quarterback I'd like to talk about is Clayton Jenkins. Clayton was a starter for 25 games for us. He played well all year, was one of the most coachable kids I'd ever been around. Really came on at the end of the season and really had a great year passing the football for us. I think he was rated in the top 20 quarterbacks in AAA as far as throwing the football. Another quarterback that we had was Tad Davidson. Tad had the unfortunate experience of getting hurt in preseason and didn't get to play a game. And it really hurt us from a standpoint. Tad is a very good athlete, and we could have used him several different places as well as quarterback. The other two quarterbacks were Jonathan Mass, who played JV quarterback, and Nick Davidson, who also played JV quarterback. They did a great job for us. Jonathan Mass probably, if we were voting for most improved player, would probably be one of our most improved players from day one to the end of the season. And Nick Davidson has got a lot of potential, and we hope to see these two young men come out and have a great year next year.
Hey everybody, Coach Parnell here. Want to talk about the receivers from the 2020 season. First one is Rodrigo Lopez, and Rodrigo was our go-to guy this year. He had 64 receptions for 1,021 yards and 7 touchdowns. He also was a first-team All-Region player. He had a school record for receiving yards in the season, and which was over 1,000. And he was also a AJC All-State Honorable Mention award winner as well. So he was, like I said, our go-to guy. He was able to take top off defenses and make tough catches whenever we needed him to. and then go make plays after that. So he is graduating, so he's going to be missed for next year, and there's going to be some big shoes to fill. So so thanks, Rod, for everything this year. Next up is going to be Milken Avalar. Milken was worked at slot this year for us, so he was an inside receiver. He had 10 catches for 113 yards and a touchdown, and he also had 6 carries for 108 yards and 2 touchdowns. So he could both run and catch. He was a valuable asset to what we were trying to do. Got better in the blocking game, which helped. Another senior that is going to be sorely missed. So thank you, Milken. Last one that I want to talk about is Preston Smith. Preston got hurt halfway through the season, and he was a rotator guy and a real possession type guy. We moved him both inside and outside, so he's pretty versatile, able to do both of those. From last year to this past season, he improved his speed, was a better route runner. He blocked well, did what he was coached to do and what we asked him to do. And his hands got a lot better too. So Preston was a junior, so we're glad that he is coming back to help us next year.
Good to go. Hey everyone, my name is Travis Raley and I am the defensive coordinator for the varsity football team here at West Hall. And I just wanted to thank you for watching our virtual banquet today. I want to take this time to highlight some of our defensive players, but real quick, I want to give an overview of our defense this season. Very proud of the way our defense played. We were vastly improved from the year before. I think anybody that watched our games saw that we were very physical, very aggressive, and that our defense kept us in almost every game. Had some exciting plays, some breakout players this year, and really just want to talk about some of those guys. But before I do that, I just want to give a thanks to all the assistant coaches on our staff. Coach Doster helping with linebackers, Coach Jones coaching the secondary, and then Coach Ryden and Coach Montgomery tag team in the defensive line this year. Couldn't do it without all those guys as well. So what I want to do now is just go over some of our letter winners. So I want to start with our defensive linemen. First letter winner for defensive line was Ben Hong. Ben was a senior this year, has been a starter for us for several years now. Had a great senior season, really stepped up big in a few games. When I think about Ben, made a lot of plays in the backfield this year, a lot of TFLs, and really came up big for us when we needed him in several key games. A lot of our victories, you can go back and saw that Ben made a lot of plays. Second letter winner is Reagan Bird. Bird really showed a lot of toughness this year. He was a two-way starter. He was counted on to be on the offense for every snap on the offensive line, and then he would turn around and run right back out there on defense and gave amazing effort on defense. Had a lot of tackles at the end of the year, and just continued to get better. Really looking forward to what he's going to do on the defensive line this next season as a senior. And then lastly, Andrew Malin. Malin, same as Reagan, played a lot of snaps on offense, was a huge factor for them as a tight end, and then would turn right around and play defensive line for us. Andrew is a very athletic kid, only a sophomore this year, and we know he's going to continue to grow and get better. And we got 2 really good years left with Malin as one of our defensive linemen, defensive players. Moving on now to outside linebackers. This was the group that I got to coach this year, so got really close with these guys, and could not say more about them. Very proud of all these guys on this list. I want to start out with Nick Sturm. Nick Sturm has been starting for us since he was a freshman. This was his junior year, and when I think about Nick, I think about leadership. I think about energy, effort. Nick is kind of the heartbeat of our defense. He keeps everybody fired up, and I don't know if anybody brings more energy than that dude. And it shows on the field. He's making plays everywhere. I believe he led our defense in tackles for loss this year, which is no surprise. And really looking forward to big things from Nick next year, moving forward as a senior. Next up is another junior, Caleb Baker. Baker, very similar to what I just said about Nick. brings a lot of energy, a lot of effort, just a joy to coach. And man, when he was in there this year, he was laying the wood to people, extremely physical. You would think he's 20 pounds heavier than he is by the way he plays. And just made a lot of good plays for us this year. Battled through some injuries, things like that. Really looking forward to what he's going to do next year as a senior, and he's going to for sure be one of our leaders on that defense next year. Next up was Elijah Porsha, senior for us. Elijah has been, a staple in our program for several years now. Great attitude, great player, great kid, a joy to coach. Very fast, very physical kid. And we're going to miss him, going to miss his energy and his attitude. And we're very thankful that Porsha was with us this year. Next up, Darius Smith, Day-Day. Day-Day moved in, transferred this year, kind of came out of nowhere, and we sure are glad he did. Day-Day really was a joy to coach. He came in day one, said, "Coach, put me wherever you want me," and the guy just plays with unbelievable effort. I wish he would have been here all 4 years, because he could have been really, a heck of a player if we just continued to have the chance to coach him up more. But man, he made an impact as soon as he went in. I believe his first game was against Chestatee, and goes in and creates a fumble and a key point in the game that allowed us to hold on to a 14-8 victory. And Day-Day played hard all year, and just a great kid to be around, and really glad he was with us this year. And then lastly, Malik Richardson, really one of the breakout stars on our defense this year. Malik, just a freshman, didn't know how much he was going to be able to contribute this year, and boy, did he get better as the year went along. He ended up about halfway through the season, he became a starter for us, and I believe there was 2 games where Malik was our leading tackler, somewhere between 16 and 20 tackles in some of those games, just all over the field, extremely coachable, extremely athletic, hard worker, and just remember that name, Malik Richardson, because he's going to be a star for West Hall for several years to come, doing that as a freshman. And so bright future ahead for Malik. Hey everyone, I want to also add Riley Packer to the list of guys who lettered this year for varsity football. Riley played outside linebacker this year as a JV player, but really came along as the season progressed and was able to contribute on special teams. Riley's got a bright future ahead of him. He's getting really big, really strong, already one of the strongest kids on the team, going to be a sophomore next year. So really looking forward to what lies ahead for Riley. Had an outstanding freshman season, and excited about what's to come.
Hey there, this is Coach Doster. For my portion of the program, I will be highlighting our inside linebackers on defense, starting with our letterman, our underclass letterman, who played sparingly for the inside linebackers. I'll start with Blake McCray. He played first 4 or 5 games before he got injured, had an injured shoulder. So we're expecting a good year next year for Blake McCray. He's a letterman. Tyler Maynard, a senior, who plays sparingly back in inside linebacker, and wherever we needed some extra help or some more depth, he was played where we needed more depth in multiple positions. Also, Nick Stern, which is also an outside linebacker mostly, but he did play some inside linebacker to help us out when we had a few injuries. Now, for the main 3 linebackers that played for us over the season, that really had a tremendous year, all 3 of them. And they really bolstered our defense for the second year with Coach Raley. He did an awesome job, and our defense got so much better. We're starting at linebacker as a freshman. We're not starting. He started 2 or 3 games there at the end. And his name is a freshman, Malik Richardson. He had a great year at inside linebacker. And if I could share my screen. It shows Malik had 58 total tackles. He had 35 assisted, 35 solos, which is pretty good, and 23 assists. He also had 8 TFLs, and that's remarkable for a freshman. So we are looking forward to Malik for the next few years. and he will get his first letter. The other two linebackers who are mainstays in our defense, who have really improved it, was Talil Blackwell, and he had 65 total tackles, 28 assisted, 28 solo and 37 assists. He also has 6 TFLs, and we're expecting a lot coming back next year for Talil in any position we need him in. He's really tremendous player. He's been out there since he's been a freshman, and he'll be coming up on his senior year. Our last guy who played linebacker and really put a staple into our defense was he was transferred in, and his name was Shakai Shaw. He had a tremendous season. As you can tell on the chart, he had 102 total tackles, 56 solos, 46 assists, and 7 TFLs. So he had a tremendous year. With these 3 guys at inside linebacker, we really played good team defense. Really, our whole team defense really came around this year and showed a great improvement. Our whole season is a great improvement over last year, and we're having to step in the right direction. Lastly, but leastly, I will cover our kickers. Diego Lorenzo was our field goal kicker, and he had at least 5 games I know where he did not miss an extra point, and he was always there for us. He had a great year, and he will be getting his second letter this year. All right, enjoyed coaching the inside linebacker. Look forward to coaching them next year, and have a good day.
Hello, Spartan fans. I'm Big Coach Jones, defensive back coach, West Hall High School. Welcome to the 2020 football high school banquet. We're doing it virtual, which is very exciting. Well, I'm here to be short, quick, and I want to talk to you about the great group of young men that played for me that did exceptionally well, if I might add. I want to talk about Andy Mayo. He'll be a rising senior. Andy improved tremendously last year. His tackling got better. His knowledge of the game got tremendously better. And he was someone that I can count on special teams. I'm hoping that I can count on Andy more this year and definitely this spring to pull out his leadership even more, become a little bit more vocal, and help us to get over the hump. So, Andy, congratulations. You lettered in varsity this year. Next guy I'd like to talk about, Brendan Hoskier. It's the first time you ever hear me call his first name, and probably last time. Hoskier is what I call him. Long, good body, hard worker. Mentality-wise, I got to get him to the point to where he wants to go in there and he wants to stick his nose up in the business where it don't supposed to be. Brendan had a growing year. He improved tremendously also. The next step for him is to get involved in the play and help make plays. Brendan, congratulations. You lettered in varsity this year. Next guy's Kyle. Kyle Hemphill is his name. Coming into the season, we was expecting a lot of Kyle. I mean, he was that rotating guy. He was a starter basically until he had an injury. Injury sets upon him and it hurt us. Kyle worked his way through the injuries. He was able to help us on special teams, offense, and defense, and help him get going. We had to let him play a little JV. Coming into his senior year, I'm hoping Kyle can step up and become a starter once again and continue to help us on special teams. Congratulations, Kyle. You lettered in varsity at West Hall High School. This guy was a part-time DB, and he was a full-time offensive guy. But I thought if he spent all his time on the defensive side of the ball, he could have been one heck of a defensive back. But we appreciate everything that he gave us. Josiah Paco Henriquez, congratulations. You lettered on the defensive side of the ball at West Hall High School. Now, coming into these guys. This guy was a sophomore. I asked a lot of him. I get onto this guy more than I get onto anybody. I mean, I rip him up, and he can handle it. Trust me. He's one of our leaders. He's one of our vocal leaders. He's one of our field generals. His name is Noah Legault. That's the last time I called him that. I call him Goat. He had a big year. He should have led the region in interceptions, but he didn't. He led the region in PBUs. That's pass breakups. He lines us up. He gets us in the area that we're supposed to be in so that we can play defense fast and downhill. Goat, congratulations. You lettered in varsity, but more importantly, congratulations on being named second team all region. Because I know next year it can't be second team. It'll be first team. This next guy, Jaden White. Dayton White, he came a million miles. I push this kid as hard as I push anybody. The thing with him is that he don't back down from it. It will get better. He's one of our leaders. He was the best defensive back in our region. He's one of the best in the state. And that didn't come because he's talented, he's just gifted. That comes because he works his butt off. He's a hard-working young man. Jaden this year was second on the team in tackles. I mean, he was all over the field. Second in the team on tackles. He led us in sacks. A cornerback leading us in sacks because he know that Cowboys my favorite call, and it's Coach Rayleigh's favorite call now too. So, but at the end of the day, Jaden, tremendous year. You capped it off. Congratulations, first team all region. Congratulations, lettering in varsity, and congratulations on helping to become the leader that we need you to be to pull this team through. We got a lot riding on next season, and you're going to be one of the guys that we're going to lean our hats on. Next guy, Sam Holcomb. Talented. Had me for 2 years, and I still don't rally. No matter how hard I argue at Sam, Sam's going to keep that smooth face, and he's going to do his thing. When Sam strap up on Friday night, he comes to work, guys. I really appreciate coaching you for the past 2 years, Sam, and I really hate the fact that you're graduating. I love the fact that you're graduating with your education. I hate the fact that I don't have to have you for another year. Big things lie ahead for you, Sam. You're honorable, you're humble, you're hardworking, and more importantly, you have a high character. You're a high character kid, and I wish nothing but the best for you. I wish you'd come out and run some track, but I know that's another day, another story. Congratulations, Sam, on a well spent athletic career here at West Hall High School. I know I've enjoyed you the past 2 years. I wish I had you for another year. Congratulations on becoming first team all region 2 years in a row. I wish you want to play some college football. I think you can help a couple of teams. And congratulations on lettering in varsity football again. You've been one that it's going to be hard replacing you next year. So help me find someone to replace you. And the final guy is Jay Hall. Guys, I'm going to tell y'all, the sky's the limit for this young man. His body hadn't peaked yet. He's still growing. But the bottom line of it is he's growing mentally too. Jay Hall, I wouldn't be shocked to see playing big time ball in a year or two. I wouldn't be shocked a couple of years that he moves school and because football is starting to click in his head right now. He got the perfect frame to play a tweener. He can play nickel, he can play corner, he can play safety. It's according to what he wants to do. He had a great year. The year before last, he came about. This year was great. People never got to see Jay Hall a lot because he's always on the other side of the field. But he made a lot of plays, made a lot of tackles, and did some great things. Another high character kid, another kid that I hate to lose. Glad that you're graduating, hate that I got to replace you. And I ask you the same thing. Help me find somebody to replace you with. We had the best defensive backfield in the region, period. The best defensive backfield in the region, period. We just didn't make the plays when we needed to make them all the time. Jay Hall, congratulations. Second team all region. Congratulations, lettering in varsity football. And congratulations on going to play college football. I ain't gonna reveal where you're going. I'm gonna let you do that at the time, but I know that you're gonna be well. I know that Josiah Hernandez is gonna be well. So look forward to it. That concludes this portion of the banquet. You just heard it, DBs. Jones out.
Going into the award segment of this part, before I get into the all-region from this past year, going to talk about Coach Rayleigh's going to do the Hammer Award. We have a couple of big awards we do, which is the Hammer Award, which is the biggest hit, which ends up on our board back there. We got boards back there where your name's up there, and it'll be up there for the duration of this field house being up.
I'm going to give out the Hammer Award. The Hammer Award is an award we give out every year for the defensive player that laid the biggest lick on defense for us. And this is somebody that's been doing this for our defense for several years now. When he hits people, it's like hitting a wall. And that man is Talil Blackwell. He did it again this year. Go back, there were several games where Talil hit ball carriers and they went down like a sack of potatoes. And when he hits people, he lets them know that he's there, and there's nothing soft about Talil Blackwell. And so we're excited because we got one more year of him as an inside linebacker for us and one of the leaders in our defense. So congrats to Talil for getting the Hammer Award, and thank you for watching this today, guys, and we'll see you next time.
And the award I'm doing is the Ultimate Spartan. And the Ultimate Spartan usually is a objective, meaning it's all based on numbers of weight room and all the all around of all the numbers that you put together. This year, because of COVID and the way things went with the pandemic, we weren't able to do the Ultimate Spartan competition like we have in the past, so we had to go back through and look at the numbers from bench press, squats, our 10 yards, 40 yards, all the things that go together. And the thing about the Ultimate Spartan, if you're injured in that time and don't get the numbers or you're not there, it's just the way it works. And it stinks because there's been kids that you think would win it because it's based on body weight and percentage, all these things, but you got to do it when we actually hold it. So we went through basically a 4-day thing from this summer and looked, and the Ultimate Spartan Award winner for 2020, which gets a watch. You got to get a hold of the lady that does a watch. They do a Guvens watch that you'll have. And the Ultimate Spartan Award winner for 2020 fall was Sam Holcomb. And Sam, like I said a little while ago, in seniors, I'm talking about athleticism, just the ability to do all those things well and be very well-rounded usually leads to an Ultimate Spartan type award. There's a couple of people close to him, some underclassmen. Doesn't matter if you're a freshman, sophomore, junior, senior for this award. But Sam had the best numbers when it came to the all-around, and so he ended up winning the Ultimate Spartan Award, which is it's a huge award. It's one of our bigger awards that we give.
I'm now going to announce our Region 7 AAA Scholar Athletes for 2020. These are our sophomores, juniors, and seniors that have a 3.5 grade point average or higher, non-rounded, for at the end of fall semester. This is a great honor. We got 20 guys that are on this list, and for being a scholar athlete, you will get a patch for your letter jacket. Our sophomores, we've got Noah Legault, Zach Stevens, Brendan Hoskier, Brady Clark, Evan Connor, Adrian Gonzalez, Will Wagner, AJ O'Brien, Ethan Couch, Dan Diasa, Sam Pettit, Tito Hernandez, and Andrew Milan. Congratulations to you guys. For our juniors, we've got Nick Sturm, Preston Smith, Caleb Baker, Andy Mayo, Maverick Roberts, Reagan Bird. Congratulations to you guys. And lastly, we've got 2 seniors that are going to be scholar athletes as well. That is going to be Milken Melkin and Clayton Jenkins. Congratulations to you. This is an important award for what this is able to set you up for down the road in terms of opportunities to be able to play in college. That grade point average is so important. So congratulations to our 2020 Region 7 AAA Scholar Athletes.
Now transitioning to our all-region awards. I know other coaches are going to talk about these players, and I don't want to go too far in depth, but just kind of looking at some of the awards that we have. Coach Gross is going to do the Scholar Awards. But for first team all-region this year, defensively, we had first team all-region Talil Blackwell. This is his second year. He was 2019 first team all-region. Now he's 2020 first team all-region. This is selected by all the coaches. I don't personally have a vote. You're nominated by other coaches' numbers from the team. They don't necessarily know your name. And from there, all the coaches vote. So Talil Blackwell was a first team all-region defensive player. Jaden White was a first team all-region corner. He had an unbelievable year coming back for us next year, as is Talil. The first team offensive lineman was Reagan Bird in 2020. He's also a 2-time first team all-region. All 3 of those guys were. Rodrigo Lopez was first team all-region receiver. Sam Holcomb, who I just talked about a little while ago, was first team all-region safety. Shakai Shaw, inside linebacker, was first team all-region defense. And then on to second team all-region. Our second team all-region players were Jonathan Hall. Jonathan Hall was a second team all-region corner. Nick Sturm was a second team defensive player. Nick Sturm, I felt like, was a first team defensive player, but sometimes those things happen. Coaches vote for different things, look at different stuff, and sometimes it depends what game are you playing, what game, how many games, and what were they looking at. But Nick Sturm, second team defense. Then Noah Legault was second team all-region playmaker from playing offense, defense, and second team all-region tight end, Andrew Milan. Expecting big things from him, sophomore, coming back as a junior. Very talented player, getting region recognition's big. And second team all-region running back, was Josiah Hernandez, the home run threat. On top of that, we had some honorable mention all regions. Linebacker Malik Richardson, freshman, a huge honor to get even a nominee. To get all region, you get a nomination. Malik Richardson, number 33. Clayton Jenkins, number 15, was honorable mention all region. Caleb Baker, number 21, was honorable mention all region. And those guys, congratulations to them for what they were able to get and, moving forward. So, kind of wrapping up the program from my point, looking at that, looking forward to 2021, we've already started. We're going to have a Zoom informational meeting kind of going out for parents as the time be, and hopefully we can get together maybe in late March, April, depending on how things kind of move along. And just looking forward to the fall in 2021 and maybe some sense of normalcy and full stands and full people out and being able to get that energy and everything that goes with football and the band and the cheerleaders and everything. I'm looking forward to that, but just can't say enough how appreciative I am to be the head coach of West Hall in this community and trusted to take care of your young men, young ladies, and just looking forward to the future and just keep building every day and controlling the controllable. And we'll just keep climbing this way. I appreciate you. I hope you guys enjoyed this presentation. Thank you.